I remember when I first entered the school a year and a half ago. My very first month in the school, I would call it a succession of culture shock. What does Say and Shimja mean? They're running that wildly right after the bell rang because of late night meal? How do I use a public phone? Those questions are just fun as I look back now. But there's one question that I still haven't found any answer to. Why do people here obsess over categorization? In our school, we endlessly categorize ourselves by club, hometown, dormitory room, school year, class, and department, and show off a sense of belonging. One example is a club culture in our school. Each club has its own badge, and we proudly put it on our neckties and backpacks. This year is quite exceptional because of COVID-19 though, but there's also an alumni association where juniors and seniors from the same living place gather and have a meal together every year. And when we become a sophomore, we make jackets that represent each department. As a result, my junior year in the school has always been busy attending numerous group dinners and making badges and group uniforms. So how come we never stop categorizing each other? There seems to be a psychological reason that we obsess over it. There's a term in psychology called social identity theory. According to this theory, our social identities are formed through three cognitive processes: social categorization, social identification, and social comparison. By social categorization, we divide the world into us and them. And then by social identification, we adopt the identity of the group we have categorized ourselves as belonging to. Lastly, through social comparison, we compare my group and other groups, finding which traits of my group are superior to other groups. What I want to give importance to among these three is social comparison, because this is when contempt and discrimination occurs. Once we categorize ourselves as a particular group, we can't help but think that we're different from others. This sense of difference then quickly plunged into a sense of superiority, which is one of the main motives of discrimination and contempt. Of course, not all categorization turns into those negative emotions. But I'm saying that we should minimize categorizing people because it's usually unnecessary, but at the same time, very costly. Senior-junior relationship can be a good example of categorization leading to negative outcomes. A sense of entitlement that seniors get as they categorize juniors as inferiors and themselves as superiors can easily turn into oppressive and discriminated relationship, which is also seen in our school. You must bow and say 안녕하세요 whenever you see seniors. But no, do not look at their face because it's rude. Also, don't forget not to bow to male seniors. Who the hell told you that you're allowed to be a Facebook friend with boys here? Unfriend them on Facebook right now. Surprisingly, all of these things I heard indeed throughout last year. If the purpose of having juniors bow to seniors was absorbing decorum, then why don't girls bow to boys and boys bow to girls? There are too many oppressive and excessive aspects in our school's senior-junior relationship to simply call the culture a decency. Is it really necessary to say, I'm a senior, you're a junior, and categorize or discriminate each other? Is it really necessary to categorize ourselves every time as a female sophomore, a member of medical society, a person from Hwasong, a person taking a natural sciences track? Is it really necessary? As long as a minimum classification that is really necessary in maintaining social norms exists, we don't need to put extra on it or apply the criteria on every aspect of our lives. If we do, only the contempt and injustice remains around us. So that's why I'm asking all of you to stop categorizing each other and reform our school's culture. I'm not saying that we should all at once throw away the badges, take off our jackets, and abolish the alumni associations. Some group activities, like class prep rallies, are even beneficial. What I mean is that if we start from reforming one by one unreasonable conventions, such as compelling one's juniors to bow, we will naturally get to know that it is still possible to build our identities without categorization. I guarantee that it is possible if we make our progress every year. Because every year, our school's culture is getting more reasonable, and I strongly believe that the freshmen this year will also speak up to make healthier school culture for their future juniors. What I said throughout the speech is not only about our school, but also about the society we live in. Black Lives Matter was the second hottest issue after COVID-19 in the first half. It is an anti-racism movement provoked by the George Floyd incident, who was strangled by white police officers for no discernible reason. Racism stems from white people's sense of superiority, which also emerges as they categorize themselves into a superior category. Skin color is another unnecessary criterion, and if you don't divide people into black or white and just see them as human beings, there's no possibility for racism to exist. Like racism, most of the conflicts we experience in our lives can be explained by categorization. We try to put ourselves into existing groups and label them because we think it forms our identities. But actually, it doesn't. However many categories we categorize ourselves into, we're still all unique and can never be labeled by a few common words. Just categorizing myself as me, I'm already special enough. Just categorizing ourselves as us, you and I are special enough. Thank you.